وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we seek the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His refuge from ourselves and from all the evils. Ameen. Brothers, last time I was just talking about it here, some of the core features or the characteristics of the mu'min or true Muslim. Okay, there are some basic characteristics which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has just given us in the Quran Majid. And especially those characteristics have been just repeated at the places in the Quran Majid. But this one, as a kind of one combination, this is the Suratul Mu'minun, which is the start of the 18th para. Okay, I think I have just talked about it here in the past, just in a more consolidated fashion, all of them. And then I would again recommend you that the 18th para, Suratul Mu'minun, this starts it here, and then there are, I think, first 8 or 9 ayahs, which only talks about it here. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The believers or the mu'mineen, they are successful. Okay, and then the rest of the ayahs until the passage ends it here, which is أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ. And these are the people, the paradise is for those people. This is a certification that the Quran Majid is giving. And then I will not go through all the characteristics today, but the last time you remember I talked about the fundamental thing, which is the honesty, truthfulness and honesty. Okay, so that's the key characteristic that I just talked about the last time. Today, the second characteristics, I just would like to a little bit elaborate on the second key characteristics, which is the trustworthiness, truthfulness and trustworthiness. So, you know that our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even before he became the prophet, okay, before the first wahi, all the people of the Makkah, they used to call him Sadiq and Ameen. Okay, truthful and trustworthy. Okay, so this is how the central this characteristic is. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I just quoted here from the here as I was just saying it here, that this ayah, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. This ayah actually is repeated in the Quran Majid multiple times. This is there in Surah Al-Ma'arij in the 29th para. This is there in the Surah Al-Mu'minun. This is from where I'm just quoting right now. And the precise translation of this is, the believers are those who are honest, true to their trusts and keep their promises. True to their trust and keep their promises. Okay. So this is quite a fundamental virtue, the trustworthiness. Okay. And then when we just talk about the trustworthiness, we have quite a narrow understanding of what is the trustworthiness. Another ayah in the Surah Al-Anfal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la takhunu Allah war rasula wa takhunu amanatikum wa antum ta'lamun. Do not betray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Rasul, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa takhunu amanatikum, and do not betray your trusts. And you know this. Wa antum ta'lamun, you better know, you are the better. Wa takhunu amanatikum. So, this is, as I was just saying it here, this is quite a cornerstone of the belief here. Okay, the true characteristics. When somebody says, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, the believers are the successful. What are the characteristics of the believers? Okay, honesty, truthfulness. Last time I just mentioned, sorry for repeating. Trustworthiness and the truthfulness. So the believers, they always speak truth. Okay, this is another hadith there. You will see that just me repeating it here, the truthfulness comes with all of them actually. All the key characteristics. The basic thing is just the telling the truth. Okay, that's kind of the basic. All of those concepts like the honesty, the trustworthiness and so on. So this is quite the basics of the telling the truth. There is a hadith there. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that the sign of the hypocrite are three. If you really want to see who is a hypocrite, this is the saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when he speaks, he lies. When he makes a promise, he breaks the promise. And when he is trusted, he betrays the trust. So the hypocrite. Okay, and you know in the Quran Majid Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Innal munafiqina fi darkil asfali minan nar. You know the bottom part of the Jahannam, okay, the hell, that is for the munafiqeen, the hypocrites. Okay. So this is how actually, and who is a hypocrite here? Okay, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us three things. He tells the lies. When he just makes a promise, he breaks the promise. And when he is trusted with something, then he breaks the trust. He betrays the trust. Okay. Now, my dear brothers, the word, the trustworthiness, especially in the religious discourse, we have really confined its meaning to some kind of the tangible essence, because the stories normally which are quoted, okay, at that time, of course, you can just imagine Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somebody just gave some amana, something, some physical thing to someone, and then he just used to take care of that thing. Okay, so that's why sometimes I feel that we have really reduced the understanding of the word trust or the trustworthiness, amanat. Okay, in Urdu or in the Arabic, the word that we also use, the amanat, trustworthiness. Okay, so trustworthiness is not merely about the physical thing. It's actually mostly about your integrity, about your honesty. Okay, I tell you a very simple story here, that there is the very close Sahabi, one of the most learned Sahabi of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Abdullah bin Masud. Okay, he was one of the very earliest, one of the first ones who accepted Islam. Okay, and then he spent most of his life very, very close to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and one day the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him some secret, some information, some secret, and he told him that I'm telling you, you don't tell anyone. Okay, you know all the period of the Makkah period, the period of the Medina. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. Hazrat Abdullah bin Masud radiyallahu an, just during the whole time of the Khulafai Rashidin, you know all the Sahaba. Okay, the likes of the Hazrat Umar Farooq radiyallahu an, Hazrat Ali radiyallahu an, they knew that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him something which is very special, and he never shared it with anyone. And see, throughout his life, okay, he never shared it with anyone, because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him not to share. So this is the level of the trustworthiness. Okay. Then there is another hadith of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just to explain the concept that the amanat or the trust is not primarily about the physical things. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you meet someone and he tells you something and he goes away, and then whatever he told you, that is a trust. Whatever he told you, whatever the discussion that you had, that is a trust. Okay. So now we just see it here in the modern legal systems. Let's just cast our eye here on the current situation. We have the contract law. Okay. We have the judicial system. Okay. We have it here, the rule of law. Okay. All of those things, they are just functional only because of the concept of the trust. Okay. If I am just selling something, if I am just buying something, if I am just in the employment, I'm employee, so my boss or my higher up, they are just entrusting me with something. So doing the hard work and doing the work diligently, honestly, this comes as part of the trustworthiness. So the trustworthiness, my dear brothers, is not just only about the physical aspects of the things, it encompasses all of those concepts like the confidentiality, privacy. Okay, so if somebody has just given, we have some piece of information. Okay, you know, in the modern, okay, just having the insider information, inside trading, okay, that is betraying the trust that the people are just putting in you. Okay, so the confidentiality is extremely important. Integrity, okay, you always need to act it with kind of that the people just see that, oh, this is a dependable guy. He has an integrity. He tells the truth. This is also, integrity is also the aspect of the trustworthiness. Reliability. Somebody has just given me a task. He can rely on me that I will do it diligently and I will not share the information unnecessarily. So, and the accountability, the loyalty, and the transparency as well. So, the point that I'm just trying to say it here, my dear brother, that this concept of trustworthiness, this is the cornerstone of the good Muslim, but this is equally essential to be successful here in this world as well. The worldly matters, whatever you just see it here, there is an ayah which came to my mind, which is again about in Surah Baqarah, وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. When they meet you, okay, they say, we believe. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ. When they are alone, they say, oh, no, we were just making fun. We are actually with you. Okay? So then they just go back to their shayateen when they are just alone. So this is again, we were just talking about it here in those ayahs, the hypocrite people. Now see, how many times, actually there is no need for me just to, the discussion will just go in slightly the other direction on the political side. But seriously, if I just look at it here, our not only one Muslim country, but all over the Muslim countries, if you just see it here, our leaders, do you really feel that they act with the trustworthiness, the trust that we are just putting in them? Don't you think that they just talk one thing, okay, in front of us, and when they are alone with shayateen, okay, so then they just say something else? Isn't this, if this is not hypocrisy, then tell me what is a hypocrisy, my dear brothers? So this is the basic level. These are the basic features of the human being. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. You just always must have to act it with the trustworthiness, and you must always have to keep the promises. And if you don't have those things, okay, there is no need for me just to say it here again, my dear brothers, that this is, you cannot have a functioning society. You cannot have a really successful society, and you will not be as successful individually as well. You can just give it a try, okay? The features that I just told you, the confidentiality, the reliability, dependability, integrity, these are the must-have for everyone if you really want to be successful in your any job that you are just doing. Okay? So, my dear brothers, I just concluded here just to stress the importance of trustworthiness, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the merchants who act trustfully with the trustworthiness, they will be hereafter in the company of the prophets, truthful, and the martyrs. So just I'm saying it here as a conclusion, just to show you the importance of trustworthiness and importance of keeping your trust. And again, trust is not merely about the physical aspects of the thing. Somebody has just given you something and you are just taking care of it here. No, this is more, the meaning is much more than that. This is elaborated in the stories or in the conducts of the Sahaba, the Khairul Qurun, the first generation. Okay, they were just so, even small little things, okay, they were just so much concerned about it here. We know that the Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anh, he used to just have even one simple little thing, the oil for the lamp. Okay, he used to rule almost he has the kingdom, the government over 3 different continents. But he was just so careful actually in just even taking the oil for the lamp from it here, because he felt that this is a trust. This is the people have just given this trust to me so that I can just spend it only on the people, not for my personal use. So just because this hadith I feel is so important, just to conclude it here, the importance of the trustworthiness, my dear brothers, that the merchants who acted with trustworthiness and keep their trust while conducting their business, they will be in the company of the prophets, they will be in the company of the Siddiqeen, they will be in the company of the Shuhada. Jazakallah khairan, my dear brothers. So we make a special dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us to incorporate those true characteristics of the Muslim, the honesty, trustworthiness, truthfulness. Jazakallah khairan.